There is a name that echoes through the streets of Nassau town, a name that makes the bravest pirate stop and turn around. They say she walks at dawn among the taverns and the docks, and every man who sees her, well, his brain completely stops. Her name is Barbarossa, and no man can explain why every pirate on these seas goes absolutely insane. I first saw her 20 years ago in Nassau's busy port, a vision walking toward me of a most peculiar sort. They said, don't look into her eyes. No man alive could say which eye was looking at you and which was looking away. Her hair was wild and tangled like a ship caught in a storm, and somewhere in that chaos a parrot made his home. She smelled of rose and lily, or so the legends say. I stood downwind of Barbarossa, ran the other way. Barbarossa, Queen of Nassau town, the most wanted woman from here to the crown. Nobody knows why, nobody can tell, but every pirate loves her and loves her bloody well. I met her at the tavern on a warm and moonlit night. She turned and looked at me, I think it's hard to tell what's right. One eye was looking leftward and the other faced the door. I wasn't sure she saw me, but I loved her even more. Her beard was long and glorious, soaked in rum and golden ale. It caught the candlelight and shone like something from a tale. I brought her pearls and diamonds, I brought her silk and gold. She used the silk to wipe her beard, and that's what I was told. Barbarossa, Queen of Nassau town, the most wanted woman from here to the crown. Nobody knows why, nobody can tell, but every pirate loves her and loves her bloody well. I was the wealthiest captain on the whole Caribbean Sea. 3 ships full of treasure, then Barbarossa smiled at me. I spent the first ship buying her the finest Irish rum. She drank it in an hour, asked me if there was more to come. I spent the second buying her a dress of emerald green, the finest dress in Nassau, fit to dress a proper queen. She wore it for an evening, then the pirates had their way. I don't want to talk about what happened to that dress today. I spent the 3rd ship just to sit beside her at the bar. She didn't know my name, but I'm the happiest man by far. Barbarossa, Queen of Nassau town, the most wanted woman from here to the crown. Nobody knows why, nobody can tell, but every pirate loves her and loves her bloody well. Hey! I've worked this bar for 30 years and seen it all go by. I've seen sea monsters cracking fights and captains who could fly, but nothing in my 30 years prepared me for the sight of Barbarossa walking in on any given night. The parrots start their singing when she walks through my front door. The rum goes 20% down, I've had to order more. Her beer drips ale upon my bar, my counter's never dry, and yet they queue outside for hours. I've never understood why. I asked her once her secret, what's the magic that you hold? She looked at me, I think she did, and this is what she told. Sure, 'tis probably the beard. Woman from here to the crown. Nobody knows why, nobody can tell, but every pirate loves her and loves her bloody well. Barbarossa, Barbarossa, the bird, the bird. And so the legend lives on in the streets of Nassau town. pirate's renown. The parrot's nest, the rum flows free. The pirates come and go, and why they all adore her so. 'Tis probably the beer